What's going on, YouTube? Today I bring you my running back rankings, 2.0 technically because I did a video on this a little bit ago, but my running back rankings for the upcoming 2021 NFL Draft. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Starting off with our number one running back, to me, it's easily Najee Harris. Like, the dude is Derrick Henry 2.0. Maybe not like quite as monstrous as Derrick Henry, but he's pretty similar. I feel like he's probably going to go somewhere in the late first. Maybe he shouldn't. I don't know if running back's just really worth a first-round pick anymore, but he very well could go in the late first round. Like I said, with Derrick Henry, like, this guy can be as good as Derrick Henry, which is why he can be a top 5 running back. The thing that you may worry about with Najee Harris is the potential tread factor that we're starting to see on some running backs. Look at Ezekiel Elliott, for example, was absolutely dominant, and now it looks like he's at the end of his career already just because so much work has been put on him as a runner constantly. You do fear that, obviously, and he took a lot of snaps in his college career, but I don't think he shows any signs of slowing down anytime soon. Yeah, like I said, he's Derrick Henry 2.0. I know, like, Hail Mary podcast compared him to, like, Le'Veon Bell, and I really don't see that comparison at all personally, but for me, the running back number 1 in this class is easily Najee Harris. Then our running back number 2, we have Travis Etienne. My comp for him is Alvin Kamara, which I actually think is a very good comp for him. He's probably going to go somewhere in the early second. The ceiling for him is to be as good as Alvin Kamara. As a runner, he's great, but as a receiving back, I mean, he'd be one of the better receiving backs in the league coming in. I mean, this guy is really, really dangerous if you put the balls in his hand. If you put the ball in his hand, Jesus Christ! If you put the ball in his hands, on a catch, he'll destroy the other guys. He's a really good just receiving back all around. Where the problem comes with him is definitely his strength. His power, it's just not there, and it's not even close to, like, say, Najee Harris, Javonte Williams. So while he's a great runner, he's definitely far from the most powerful runner, which is where the NFL does seem to be leaning towards nowadays. But coming as a catching back, I mean, he's already a top 5 just coming into the league. So yeah, Travis Etienne, really solid running back here. And again, not just a catching back, like, he can run pretty well. He just lacks that bruteness, as I say down there. Otherwise, do really like Travis Etienne. Then at running back number 3, we have a lot of people's number 2 and even number 1 in Javonte Williams. I see this guy being a lot more popular than Najee Harris, and I understand why. I mean, Nick Chubb is, like, the perfect comparison for him. This is another guy I see being picked somewhere early, maybe mid-second round. And, like Nick Chubb, like Javonte, or not like Javonte, like Najee Harris, like Derrick Henry can be a top 5 running back. He has that potential. And the floor for him, I really just see him being, at worst, maybe a backup red zone running back, just that punch-it-in guy, at worst. Here's where my problem lies with him. As a running back, as a pure pound-the-ball, play-by-play guy, he's great. Maybe the best. I mean, honestly, as a straight-up running back, getting the ball handed off to you, he's the best in this class. But beyond that, he just doesn't do a lot well. For his power and his pretty good size, he is a very crappy blocker. You're definitely never going to be letting him stay in there to block for your quarterback, and he's definitely not going to be running any routes. This guy is a crappy receiver as a running back. So as a straight-up runner, he is maybe the best in this class, but besides that, he just lacks literally everything else, which is a little disappointing because if he was just a bit better at blocking, a bit better at receiving, he'd probably be my number 1 running back. And he can definitely be on some people's boards. I don't disagree. I see the talent there, obviously, but I just feel like, when it comes to the dual threat running backs of today, even Derrick Henry can catch. I mean, even Alvin Kamara can run. This guy, he's a running back and just not, beyond doing what just a running back does, he's not really good at it. So I understand the love for him. I still do really like him. He'll be a great running back in this league, but just beyond the actual running, he's just not that good of a running back. Then at number 4, we have his teammate from North Carolina in Michael Carter. My comparison for him is Mike Davis, which is actually a very, very good comparison. I expect him to go somewhere late second, maybe mid-second. The thing with Michael Carter is that he definitely holds the talent to be a starting running back in the NFL, whether that's running the ball or receiving. Um, you can even really compare this guy to Christian McCaffrey, except there's a running back later that I think has a better comparison to Christian McCaffrey. But he can also pretty easily be a bust if he doesn't end up picking. See, the thing about Michael Carter is he lacks kind of that sense of a running back. He's not the most patient guy in the world. He struggles at finding lanes mainly due to his size, and definitely does not create. He's not going to knock a guy over. If a guy's on him, he will be tackled unless he somehow slips out of it. And even then, he's not the best at that. So he's a great receiving back, but nowhere near as good as, Travis Etienne. Definitely lacks the physicality and is kind of a boomer bust running back in a way, which is kind of weird to say for such a high up running back, but that's pretty much what it is. He's either going to be a starter or he'll be out of the league pretty quickly. So Michael Carter, I do think he'll succeed, but yeah, it's a pretty boomer bust prospect right here for me. Then at number 5, we have Trey Sermon, a guy that I had at number 3 last time, and I put Javonte Williams and Michael Carter over him at this point, but I still do really like Trey Sermon. My comp for him is Royce Freeman, running back on the Broncos. Coming out of college, they're pretty much the exact same players to me. I think he's going to go, somewhere in the third, probably the early third. His ceiling is being a starting running back in this league. He gives me Ezekiel Elliott's vibes at times, both Ohio State running backs. There is definitely the chance that he is a starting top 10 running back in the league. The floor for him is kind of the same as Javonte Williams for me. I feel like at worst, he's just going to be that punch it in backup running back, kind of like what Royce Freeman is right now. The power is definitely there for Trey Sermon. The problem with him is his athleticism. He's set on one speed, and there's no turning it up. While there's no turning it down, there's no turning up his speed. Definitely has trouble on, running outside on plays. He's an inside back, and that limits you with him, obviously, which is why he's the number 5 running back here. However, again, can be one of the best inside running backs in football if he picks it up. Then at number 6, we have Kenny Gainwell from Memphis, and Kenny Gainwell is the guy that I'm comparing to Christian McCaffrey. Somewhere in the 3rd round for me right now. This guy has the ceiling to be as good as Christian McCaffrey. I say starting running back because that's probably where I see him being. But yeah, can literally be like the next Christian McCaffrey. He has that type of talent based off of what he showed in 2019. This dude is athletic as it comes. There's a lot to love about this guy. And really, if you look at his actual game, there's literally nothing to nab about it because beyond just a receiving back, he's also an amazing runner. The one thing that you can nab him on is the fact that it was really just 1 year. So, a year later where he hasn't really played, he didn't really play in 2020. Based off of 2019, I think he's going to go somewhere 3rd round. But we'll have to see. I think this is a guy that could fall a bit just because, what he showed in 2019 was really good, but that was just 1 year. So can he replicate that in the NFL? We're not quite sure. But when it comes to his athleticism, his receiving, there's no doubt to that. It really just depends on how good of a runner he is. And I think this guy will be pretty good in the NFL. Then at number 7, we have Jamar Jefferson, a guy that I and a lot of other people have started to pick up on. I think 4th round's about right for him. My comp for him is Cam Akers, very similar size and just style of play. The thing with this guy is kind of interesting. He's a bit of a more solid, heavier guy. So at first glance, you might think he's more of your power back, but it's actually kind of the opposite. That's why I compare him to Cam Akers, because where they really excel in their game is, if they see the hole, they'll hit it, and they'll hit it hard. They have extremely good burst in their step, which is nice to see. And for his size, has really nice speed and very nice outside the pocket running ability. The thing that he does lack, which is a little strange for his size, is his power. He's not going to shake a guy off if they're trying to tackle him. He's not going to bowl someone over. So another guy that, he's pretty boomer bust for me, because if he picks up that running thing, he can be one of the best running backs in the league. Because he's not a half bad receiver either. But if he doesn't ever pick up that, thing that the best running backs get at some point, that sense, the patience, the the knowing of where's going to be the holes, he'll be out of the league pretty quickly. So I really like Jamar Jefferson, another extremely athletic guy, and I love the burst and speed in this guy for his size, but his power is definitely not where it needs to be as of right now. Then at number 8, we have Kylin Hill from Mississippi State. And my comp for him is a weak Dalvin Cook. Again, pretty similar size in the way they play. But why I say weak Dalvin Cook is because where he does suffer is his strength, and Dalvin Cook is a bit of a stronger running back. Almost the same way as Jamar Jefferson. Very athletic, very good receiving back. But he just kind of struggles with that physicality side of things. He's not going to shake someone off. He's not going to bowl someone over. But he is a very speedy, nice outside running back, and he has the favorable size on this one to make people miss and stuff. And, the thing with Kylin Hill is I don't ever see him being like a starting running back. I can see him being like a backup receiving back, but never really like a starting, 3-down running back or anything like that. Or he could be out of the league pretty quickly. An interesting prospect because I think if you're looking for a nice receiving back and someone you're not wanting to start, then Kylin Hill is a great option, a weak Dalvin Cook. But otherwise, this guy isn't going to go super early, so I have him around 4th, maybe late 4th round here for Kylin Hill. Do like him, but he has some strength and physicality issues, obviously. Then at 9, we have Ramondre Stevenson, a guy that I'm not really getting the hype around. My comp for him is a dollar store Najee Harris. I think he'll go somewhere probably around the 5th round. The power is there. Yeah, he's definitely a power back. But he's not nearly as powerful or groundbreaking as Derrick Henry, Najee Harris. Definitely not as close. And this guy is not elusive by any means. I mean, this guy is never gonna make you miss. He is never gonna juke. He's just not a finesse runner. He's a power runner, but even then, his power isn't the best. So I really think his ceiling is what most of those other power backs' floors are. Is kind of that backup red zone running back. I think that this guy's ceiling is a backup type guy, whereas he could be out of the league very quickly just because he is pretty slow as well. If you're powerful and quick, that can give you some points, but if you're powerful but you're slow and you never make anyone miss, I really don't get the hype behind this guy. I really just not a fan of him. I don't see him lasting that long in the NFL just because of the certain things. So Ramondre Stevenson, I can't even say I would understand why people like him. I don't understand why people like him. Dollar store Najee Harris. And then with our 10th and final running back for this video, we have Chuba Hubbard. A very, very interesting prospect. My comp for him is Melvin Gordon. I think he'll go somewhere 5th, although he could easily slide to the 6th or 7th, or heck, I wouldn't be surprised if he went undrafted. The reason is this guy is the literal definition of boom or bust. 2019 was one of the best, if not maybe the best, running back in college football. I mean, this guy looked destined to be a game changer at the next level. If he would have come out last year, could have really gone maybe 1st round even. And then 2020 came and just, what happened? I mean, he doesn't look at all like the same player. He's shown a few flashes every now and then, but they're very rare. So the thing with Chuba Hubbard is that, he could be a top 15 running back if he retains that 2019 form, or he could be out of the league very quickly if he stays in that 2020 form. He is very explosive on occasions. He will make, that's why I compare to Melvin Gordon. If the play is there, they'll make the big play. They can make big plays on occasion, but overall just kind of inconsistent at times, or inconsistent on years if you're Chuba Hubbard. I have him here at 10 just because I still am intrigued by the possibilities of what he can bring to a team. But it's really just what version of Chuba Hubbard are you getting? If it's the 2019 version, whatever team takes him, late day 3 is going to get an absolute steal of a running back. If it's 2020, I mean, he's just a bust at that point. So he's a pretty interesting player to look at. But that is my 2021 NFL running back rankings. Let me know what you guys thought down below. If you liked the video, leave a like, subscribe, comment, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. We're gonna be seeing the wide receiver rankings next. So if you want to see that, be first in line. Hit the notification bell. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see all you guys in the next video. Bye bye.